Hey everyone, this is P4L, and in today's Transformers review, we'll be taking a quick look and installation of KFC's KP-08 upgrade handset for Masterpiece Ultra Magnus MP-22. Very quick packaging review. This is it. You get a Ziploc bag that shows you all the goodness that you get. So this is virtually what you're getting in the package. And then by the power of editing, out of packaging already. So let's go into the set review. What you do get is a set of replacement hands, articulated hands, a left and a right, which is convenient. And then you also get this screwdriver, this mini screwdriver, which they've been including in the upgrade sets for a while now. It's kind of curious why they actually included it in this one, because for installation, you don't even need this. So there are 3 screws here. I guess you can use it to tighten or loosen the screws here if they get too loose, or if you want them a little bit looser. The tightness of the screws does affect how tight the ball joints are to a degree, so maybe that's why, but for pure installation purposes you do not need this at all. So we're just going to set that off to the side. Let's go into articulation. So the articulation is similar to what we've seen with the KP-08 hands ever since the Masterpiece Optimus Prime's hands that first came out. The articulation is going to be the same. So you have a ball joint here at the base of the thumb, as well as at the base of each of the 4 fingers. That allows you to splay them out like that, and allow you to emote more emotions. Kind of redundant to say emote emotions, but okay. And you also get a pin, well, not a pin, but another swivel here at the base of the thumb, as well as one more point of articulation at the tip of the thumb. And the same thing with the other fingers. So you get a bend here and a bend there. And you can also rotate the ball joint down on the thumb to the side. That'll let you get this kind of A-OK kind of pose. And you can get the thumb in very weird positions. Even the fingers, you can get them to do really weird things that are inhuman, but you know, as a robot you might be able to do that. But the real difference really is the ball joints from other Masterpiece style hands. These are really great, and again, they allow you to, you know, spread them out, do much more in terms of poses instead of just having it be straight like that, which is not very metal. Spreading them out like that, now you're metal, right? In any case, you can also do the live long and prosper, but you get the idea. I love upgrade hands just because they do allow you to do a lot more things, more realistic poses, and more dynamic hand poses. And they're pretty cheap. I mean, this set I think is somewhere between 15 and 20 bucks, but they're usually around 10 to 20 bucks to get replacement hands, and I think they're totally worth it. The bottom is a ball joint because that's how the Magnus hands are. That's how they connect. So that is something new. So that's how we'll show that off. Even the molded detail all the way around is really nice. It's really crisp, much crisper than the Optimus Prime hands that we got initially. And it's nice, smooth, kind of glossy plastic. Nice and hard this time too. I think it's harder than any of the other hands that we've gotten so far. So it feels very sturdy. And I'm not concerned at all about this breaking. The only points of concern you might have are the small connectors where the ball joints are, but unless you're doing something kind of unnecessary, an unnecessary amount of force, I don't think you're going to have any concerns. But yeah, give me a second and we'll bring in Ultra Magnus here. That's his foot, if you can tell. We're not doing replacement feet, so let's go ahead and scroll this up to the hands. And I wanted to show you just how closely the KFC hands are modeled after the stock hands. So on the back of the palm itself, you get a lot of the same detail. It's not a clone, but you get very similar details. You get a bigger indentation here, 2 indentations on the side. You get 2 little nubbins, I don't know, hand nipples, I guess, and then you get the grills here. Even the fingers themselves and the joints in between them. So the molded one from the stock actually has kind of a molded finger, very similar to how this finger is actually operated. Coming around to the top of the hand, you can see the overall size when curled up the same way is about the same, very close in size. I'm sure that was by design. You do get this kind of similar circular, it's not as far out, I guess, as this one. The inside, you're going to get the same tab, and we'll show that off in a bit. And then on the bottom, there's not really much to talk about, except the fact that you can see this one has, the Masterpiece hands usually are connected or built in a kind of two halves. So you kind of have a molded line in the middle, which is kind of, it's not a big deal, but when you could get rid of it, why not do it? So that's what KFC did, and they have the molded line as kind of the back of the hand and palm of the hand. And that way when you put screws in, they're hidden on the inside as opposed to having a big hole on the bottom of the hand. Granted, you do have 3 here as opposed to 1, so it might be a cost issue. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into quote-unquote installation. And the installation is very simple. You might want to just spread the Magnus hands out, forearms, just to get it kind of open up and out of the way. And you just kind of need to release it off the joint. Just pull it with force of 1,000 suns. And you're not going to have much trouble getting it off. And this is really thick around here. The neck of the ball joint is pretty thick, so you're probably not going to have any issues breaking it. So don't worry about that. You don't have to apply too much force. Getting it on is really just the opposite. Get the socket here. Hold on to the forearm. Just twist that on. And you can collapse it. And there we go. Very simple. Again, no screwdriver needed. Alright, let's go ahead and do it on the other side as well, just because it was so complex that you may need to see it twice. So go ahead and pop that off, put on the right hand, close that up, and we're all done. And here are both sets of hands for your viewing pleasure. I'll quickly show off the gun. So as with the original hands, on the inside you do have a tab slot, a slot in here for the tab on Magnus's stock gun, right here. And just rotate the thumb down like so. Tabs in very securely. Don't even need to close the fingers if you don't want to. That would be odd if you didn't, but okay. And there you go. Let's just zoom out a bit more. Get rid of these hands. Just to show off Magnus with his upgraded hands. So you can do some pointing, which you could sort of do with the previous hands, but you couldn't get it like really straight. You can just basically do a hook. You do have your gun, and if you have proper trigger form, which a lot of people talk about, you can get that resting out instead of on the non-existent trigger that exists with this gun. But yeah, that's really it. One of the things I did want to mention is that the fingers are really, the ball joints are really tight in here. This not tight, tight in a good way, like a good feeling tight. So they're not floppy at all like some of the previous fingers were. I was actually being able to hold this up and kind of dangle it around. Actually, I'll just show you. You can dangle it around without fear of it. So like so. See, I'm swinging it around, fully extended, swinging it around, and barely barely comes down. But yeah, so it's really nice. They're definitely improving their hands each single release. With this release, the plastic quality, just the overall matching of the plastic on Magnus is really good. So kudos to KFC for... Oh, what did I just do? That was probably my fault because I was just jamming it in there without paying attention. Just to put it back on, if that does happen to you, it's not a pin, it's just two nubs. You just slide it back on. And that really was user error. Like you can really extend these and not have anything go wrong. Let me put that on properly. Okay, close that up, and that's really it for the review. I recommend them. If you want to pick them up for your Ultra Magnus, go ahead and click on the Toy Dojo link in the description below. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below or on Facebook if that's where you're seeing this video. If you want to give it a thumbs up and like it and share, that'd be great. Love that. And then last but not least, if you want to go ahead and keep up to date with all my Transformers reviews, videos, and news, go ahead and click on the little subscribe button up here, or again head over to Facebook and like my page there, Peg4Life Reviews, and you'll be up to date. Alright? Well, I hope this helps anyone who had questions about this set. Highly recommend it for all you articulated hand fans. Really great set. Kudos again to KFC for improving their hands and keep feeding us with an endless supply of these hands for the lacking articulation from our Masterpiece figures. Alright? That's all for today, everyone. Have a good one.